Oh shit. Hey, openers. I was trying to get the little scoop back in. Gonna do it now. Okay. Hey, openers, how are you? Welcome to season 3, episode 30. That's XXX. Yeah. And that stands for sex.
Boo.
Tomato.
And as you can see, my lovely co-host Vanna Whites have on their shirts. And I just want to say thank y'all for having on y'all shirts this lovely
Where's
evening.
yours?
Openers, let's not fall for it. Rodney is just making this announcement so we don't whack him throughout the episode. Let's be very clear.
No, but yeah, you want to buy a shirt, just hit up in our DM. We got you, okay? We got all sizes from extra small to 2X.
From small to...
Oh, small. Okay.
XX.
Small to double X.
Do I get one for showing up today?
He came to work. He clocked.
He just...
Check your mail. Look, there's something coming in.
Mean Girls, none for you, Glenn Cookout.
Well, sweet baby.
Go here.
Welcome to Open Relationship Podcast, where we open up this conversation and talk about everything from A to Z as it pertains to the LGBTQ plus community and beyond. I'm your host, Rodney. You can follow me on IG at I am Rodney Wash.
I'm your host, Marco DePrence. You can follow me on IG at Marco DePrence.
I'm your host, Shazam. You can follow me at _kid and play_.
And I'm your host, Solomon. You can follow me on IG at Solomon E. Stretch.
And we gonna call him. We have city councilman.
Yes, absolutely. Come on.
Call it.
From your mouth to God's ears.
There you go.
Come on.
Devin Barrington Ward.
Yes.
From the islands, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm from Atlanta, but my folks are from the islands.
Oh, that's in your blood.
Say your full name again. It sounds like you're a Baptist preacher. Say it one more time.
Devin Barrington Ward. Devin Barrington.
That's a strong
Barrington is actually a very Jamaican name. Like everybody,
Oh.
when they know, when they hear Barrington, if they're Jamaican, they're like, "Oh, he's Jamaican."
Oh, for sure.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know that. Are you
Okay.
related to Yardie Style?
No, we don't all know each other.
I was just
Starting early, but before we go there,
We don't all know each
sweet
other.
babies, we have a thing called the collection plate. As you can see, it is what? Empty. Okay, so that means we need money. You can give in 3 ways. Okay, you can give, first one is on Facebook. We have subscriptions now. It's for 99 cents. Go and subscribe. We got stuff in there for you coming soon. You could also buy stars. We love stars. We are 5-star young professional gay what?
Men.
ooh.
Black men.
Oh, well, I was going to say.
You sound like that man who messed up on the radio earlier.
Finish your segment.
Or you can donate by clicking in the donate button wherever podcast play list us on. Click that donate button. Donate what you want. More than $5 because they don't eat us up in taxes. But my favorite bottom bitch,
Trump taxes.
child, he don't pay tax. That's the problem. And they keep hitting me up talking about bitch you owe.
And they
Truth
got all
is
the
I'm
money.
tired. I just
You, okay? I'm trying to pay, but I don't have enough money.
where are you? Cause bitch, I'm all worked out. Heard it. Oh, I go. Okay, but yeah, you know my favorite bottle bitch is YouTube. Cause she been with us since day one, baby. So you can buy stickers. So when you buy stickers, it will go across the screen and see your lovely name across the screen. And we got you here. But also, now my favorite, you can turn what, Solomon?
Go green.
Go green. I like it. Say it again for the people back.
Go green.
So when you go green, you join our special club. It's like an OnlyFans, but for content creators. We're not naked, but we give you great content, right? Mm-hmm. And for the people who's watching it, don't y'all have great content in there? Say yes, thank you, or we'll remove you out the group.
So y'all are not naked.
No, we're not. No, yeah, we can't do that. Not for not for $4.99.
Yes, we. Unless you're speaking for yourself. Glasses.
Yeah, because I'm not naked. Now, if you trying to tell your business,
You have a hard time finding it.
Not what I heard.
how about to,
Rodney, continue.
you know what? You're right. Solomon, tell them how they can further support us.
You can further support us by going to our YouTube and liking, commenting, and subscribing. We love it when you send us DMs. We love it when you send us messages week by week. We used to love it when you send us pictures, but that got a little weird. But we love interacting with you on our YouTube channel. We love it when you go green, and we love it when you sit in the fifth seat.
All right, Marco, who we have next to us in the middle?
Devin Barrington Ward, City Councilman.
Say it again.
Devin.
That was get deep. We got guests.
Clutches pearls.
We have Devin Barrington Ward, City Councilman, future.
Yes.
Welcome to Open Relationship Podcast.
Thank you.
How was your week?
You know, it's what is today? Tuesday? Man, it feels like it's Friday already. It's so much going on. We've got less than 50 days to the election because I'm on the same ballot as the presidential candidates. So it's crunch time. It is crunch time. This is a history-making election for a variety of reasons. And so I'm excited to be on the ballot. This time, it's my second time running for city council. Third time running for public office, but third time, it's the charm this time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you give us a little rundown of like your trajectory to here?
Yeah.
Or the openers so that they understand.
Yeah. So I think this fell down. Okay. No? Yeah?
Get a little tight.
Okay. You don't got that snapback. Okay, got it. All right. Y'all said this was okay. Come on. What
Well, we are
okay.
opening
All
up.
right. Gosh.
We don't do turtlenecks. Cottage
No.
cheese.
So the way that I landed here, I'm from Atlanta. You know, my mom and my grandmother, they're Jamaican, so you know they'll give you little nicknames, and my little nickname was Mr. Chatterbox. Love chat, love talk up. And my grandmother and my mom always said to me, like, if you don't make your living doing politics or law or media or something like that, you're missing your calling. And so I always found opportunities that align with the ways that they spoke over my life, because you know it's important to speak over your children's life because it'll last them a lifetime. And, you know, I started doing speech and debate in high school, and then I met this lady, Stacey Abrams, in 2006.
Oh, yes,
and
Stacey.
she was, Stacey, this big sis. And she was running for office the first time. And I got to work on her campaign, and she won. And I caught the political bug. And so I started doing voter registration in high school. I hosted debates. I was an intern. And then I went and managed a campaign for a state senator, and he won in 2008, and so I later went to the state senate. I was one of the youngest chiefs of staff down there. I was a lobbyist for early childhood education issues, making sure that Black-owned child care providers got their fair share of pre-K dollars. And then being in Atlanta and being queer and being bisexual, you know, it's impossible to like, you know, not talk about HIV and STDs and all of the other things. And it was the thing that I was like, we talk a lot of things down here, but we'll never talk about that. And so I was just, you know, learning a lot from the experiences of my friends, and then trying to take that to politics and be like, we should do something. And so I always honor people like my mentor, who's no longer with us, Paris Lamont Ely, who poured so much into me. He looked after me when I had a bout of homelessness when I was younger. He let me sleep on his sofa. And he provided so much wisdom. I think about people like Antron Bouchard, who's a poet here, Haitian American, Black gay man, brilliant, who, you know, passed away due to complications of HIV because he was unstably housed. So I took those experiences with me. I went to DC. I was working with the National Coalition of STD Directors as a senior health equity fellow. Ran Impulse Group DC. A lot of people know about Impulse Group Atlanta, but I was the founder of the chapter in Washington DC and did that for a while. And so I got to merge politics and like sex positivity and events and this, that, and the third. And we get people registered to vote, and some man was naked and he would register you to vote. And sometimes that's the incentive people needed to participate in the civic process, but we ain't judged. We just made ourselves available. And so I came back here in 2018, and I've just been involved and, you know, doing the work. So, yeah.
Well, goddamn, if that'll make you go to the polls and vote.
Okay. The resume is strong.
Resume is strong and
No, I
long.
didn't
Okay.
That ain't the only number. The last thing that I will say is I always honor my ancestor, Paul Bogle, who's one of Jamaica's national heroes. He's also my great-great-great-great-grandfather.
Oh,
and
wow.
he led a rebellion against the British government in 1865. And my grandmother always made sure that I knew about that history. And so, like, when you go to Jamaica, he has murals in the airport. He has a statue. He's on money. And he was a spiritual Baptist minister, so some of that is right, you know.
Queen Victoria, right?
Not Queen Victoria. He was against the whole.
No, that's during Queen Victoria.
Oh
reign.
yeah. And you know, Jamaica changed hands a lot of times. Colonizers tend to do that. So first it was the Spanish, and then the British had it, and so yeah, he led that rebellion. It cost him his life, but I like to think that spirit still lives on inside of me, just in a, you know, a little bit more queer package.
Well, amen. Welcome to the podcast.
But then you know what? You did very well.
Thank you.
Number one.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Shade.
I ain't saying it. So don't be calling me the mean girl in the comments this week.
I mean, understand when you come on, eloquent, very demure, precise, straight to the point.
Yeah.
I understand what he's saying.
Right.
I didn't come here to waste y'all's time. This was a drive. Like, okay.
No, not too much.
Okay, sorry. I'm a supporter of public transit. I'm a supporter. We got to do something about the traffic in Atlanta, y'all.
Okay. Well, Marco, go to. No, that was your week. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Your week was on.
That was a weekend of resume, bitch.
I'm just gonna say I'm still here. We'll keep it moving. We got. Sodom, how about you?
I've had a great week.
Okay.
Did you?
I did.
What'd you do?
I went to go see my nephew play football. He plays for Stetson University.
Okay.
Yeah. Go green. Hey y'all, go
All
green.
right, let's move on. Marco, how was your week?
My weekend was good. So today I got some bad news. I found out the family dog died.
Oh my God, it's sad. I'm so sorry.
10. It was a Chihuahua.
Okay.
Oh,
He lived a long
10 human years is like a long time for dogs, right?
he was 70, 7 years, right?
I don't know.
I think it's 7 years for every human year.
Yeah.
Wow.
So.
He made a promise age in the Bible. Shabbat.
But
Yeah,
I just woke up with that news. But
Was he a mean Chihuahua?
No, he was nice.
Okay.
He was he's peaceful. He laid. Yeah. So he's in Vegas with my mom, but he was in her spot. She went like to the grocery store or something and just came back, laid in like her spot, and
Did nobody just hear Solomon? You said the dog's in Vegas. So you was like, he's in Vegas with my mom. Solomon was like, was.
Solomon, you ass.
now you're the mean girl this episode.
Not nice.
That was some good.
And you know what? Beware of the messenger. He didn't have to do that.
I'm sorry. I had a grammar moment. So
He said it was. I said, oh.
All right.
How was your week, Shazam?
My week is on the up and up. I met with my therapist today. She ripped my wig off. As I share with everybody, that's like what I like the grief therapist with the passing of my father. So she ripped my wig off. Everything else was great. I went to Congressional Black Caucus this weekend with Bay. Bay had some events. Shout out to Bay. Your events were amazing. And yeah, so I spent my time in DC and then I got back yesterday.
yes.
How was CBC?
Amazing.
Yeah.
It's so great to see like all the black people and like we're just black excellence and it was great.
Did you go to the Black Excellent thing at the White House?
I was tired.
Yeah. No,
He went. I was in bed.
That was like Sunday. Like
Yeah, the all white brunch. Very cute. So let's get into it, Marco.
Yes. Okay. You know we got to pay some bills first. For the people in the comment, go green. You get to see our live show that we recorded 3 weeks now. 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Get some laughs and
Feels like
you know.
forever.
Huh?
I said it feels like forever.
I know.
Time is filled with swift transitions.
that's wise. That's really wise.
Make sure you go green, subscribe to our community, and also there's a description in the link where you can get 1 month of Apple TV or 1 month of Apple Music for free, because you know Apple is our official sponsor for Open Relationship Podcast.
Oh, okay. Shoot, I don't have Apple TV. Thanks.
Yeah.
Getting a shirt and Apple TV.
You
He's
do.
claiming this shirt. Damn it.
You gonna go
You
green
get your
too?
shirt. What size you wear?
I mean,
medium,
I'm in green.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm medium.
Okay.
Yeah. Please.
large.
Oh,
I'm medium. I'm medium. I said what I said. I was about to call you the N-word. We just got here. Nigga, don't-
That's handing it. You know, you fun. I think it's gonna be a good interview. Okay, Marco, go
So,
to.
as you guys know, openers, last week we ran out of here to go watch the presidential debate.
Ooh, Lord.
That's so long ago.
Right?
No.
When I went home, I started it over. I think you said it too, huh?
Yeah.
I started it all the way over because I wanted to see from the beginning to the end. And when I tell you, I was glued to the TV. Like, I've never really...
It's dramatic.
Yeah, I've never really watched, like, a whole presidential debate, but I was excited what happened. How'd you guys feel about it?
I popped some popcorn and I felt bad for Vice President Harris. She's brilliant. She's intelligent. She's smart. She's classy, and she has to debate Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Like she didn't even get to use her debate skills because he's so like a child. Now, granted, I will say, unfortunately, I laughed a lot because he's funny.
yes.
He's like a TV personality, but it's still like the fact that we're up there
Eating the dogs.
Listen, between that,
Eating the dogs.
Did you hear the New Orleans bounce?
when he said they're eating the dogs, and then I laughed at that, but I was still just like, that's a little racist. But when at one moment she said something, he said, I'm speaking, sound familiar.
Sound familiar.
When
I
I
said,
tell y'all I
"You are
cried on the couch,
messy."
I'm like,
So
I had to
messy.
You know what? He didn't whack it that time. I'm not gonna lie.
She knew it too. But I just think it's unfortunate that we are seeing this because she's way too smart and just like, she's just above that. And the fact that she's even having to run against him is crazy. But I do appreciate the stance that like her team took. So like she's been running on this platform as like, I've prosecuted criminals. I prosecuted sexual offenders. Donald Trump is one. I prosecuted big banks. Donald Trump owned one. I prosecuted colleges that were scammed. So she like this whole prosecutor thing, this whole debate. Yeah, it took like, I'm about to prosecute his ass. She ran down his charges and then told him he's been fired by 81 million people and can't get over it. Like, and then another thing she did that I really loved is she gave him the bait. Like, okay, here's the bait, and he took it every time. When she said people leave his rallies, he spiraled.
Boy, that's when it went downhill from there.
Yes,
So,
'cause
talk
that
about dogs and everything.
Oh my God, that offended him. You
Excellent
saw it
job
on his
by her.
body. Yeah.
But I hate that she has to debate him because he's just not it.
Yeah, I found it to be embarrassing. I think it was embarrassing for America in the sense that if you are familiar with the rules of debate, you didn't see a lot of it during the debate. And then if you're also familiar with just government and protocol, like you would never see this in another country.
No.
So
Not even the ones that we supposedly like laugh at and say in the third world. No.
They're laughing at our asses.
And so I was like, this just isn't a good look. Now, granted, I found it to be entertainment, but I think a lot of TV stuff is just entertainment. But when it comes to politics, I expect more.
I'm gonna say this. I think it's embarrassing for Kamala Harris to be debating against a 34 count felon, a person who did treason against the country capital. If I was her, honestly, I wouldn't even like degrade myself to even debate you. Like, why am I here with you for? You are a felon, and you here talking about crooked people, and then she whacked you, said, "But you." She looked like, "Are you serious?"
My favorite part was this former president.
She was saying motherfucker.
Well, actually, there's a video of her like from 2019.
Yeah,
where
so
she
that's
talks
her
about
favorite
her favorite cuss word,
And it's motherfucker.
It's motherfucker. I was like, that's exactly what she wanted to call it.
And it's just, honestly, like, it was fun. I'm not gonna lie, 'cause Donald Trump is just a character. Like, he's a character. I can't take that from him. But as far as for president, I cringe. I'm just like, damn, you over here with a Juris Doctorate, and this man's calling you dumb, stupid, belittling you, won't even say your name. They must want to shake your hand when you came out there. Like, ain't no way. I would say, you know what? I'm out.
I probably would have walked off stage.
It's the strength of a black woman because that is the experience for so many black women that go into these spaces. They're constantly invalidated. They're constantly talked down to. They can be more credentialed than all the men in the room, all the white men in the room. Thank you. Can be more credentialed than all of these people and still be talked down to as if she is not their equal. In fact, she is Donald Trump's superior, right? Like,
100%.
I don't agree with everything. First of all, like, that's not a requirement to support her. I don't agree with everything, every policy that she has. I certainly don't agree with Donald Trump's policies. But the idea that she does even have to dignify him with her appearance is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
And when people are like, "Oh, America's not a racist country," like come the fuck on. Like the fact that this is her opponent is all the testament that we need that America's racist boots. Like, come on, we know nowhere else can a 34 count felon run for office. In fact, in certain states, he can't vote.
He can't vote. Yeah.
Which is just
He can't
madness.
get a job. He can't get an apartment.
Can he vote in Florida?
in Florida, China.
I guess my question is like, how is he continued, or how is he allowed to continue to run for president when we know all this information about him? It's
There's not
public
any
information.
rules or laws that prevent it.
Yeah, like the Constitution has really clear guidelines around what makes a person qualified to run for president, and there's nothing in there that talks about their criminal status or, whether or not they're a felon or not. Hell, he could technically even run for president behind bars, technically, right? And so, during his presidency, when he was in office for 4 years, he stacked the Supreme Court with all his homies, and so
He basically is going to have immunity.
right, exactly. They just said like he can do whatever he wants. He can basically have immunity. So when people are talking about, oh, I'm voting third party, oh, I'm not gonna vote. I think people really think that their only job in this country is to go and vote, and that's it. And it's not. It's such more than that. Like, you got to show up to these meetings. You got to know who these local people are, because half of the stuff that people really complain about, neither of them can fix. Yeah. It's actually like the person that is at the grocery store with you, who you don't even know, is like screwing you over every day.
How you doing? Want some eggs?
You want some eggs, girl? That's why we finna close these schools, make them charter schools.
Okay, right. Literally.
They call my golf course, sis.
It was comedy though, because, the man had a show called The Apprentice where he, faked people out, and people, it's sad, but a lot of his supporters really thought that was like really reality TV. Like, and that's America for you.
Openers, make sure you vote.
Yeah.
Please.
I get it. Like, Harris, I'm not agreeing with her on like what's happening in the Middle East with all this war and this and the third.
Okay, wait, before we go into that, because what I'm going to say is it really bugs and grinds my gears that there have been plenty of things that have happened in the Middle East. And granted, this is terrible, right? This is genocide. This is really bad.
Yeah.
But this is something that everybody continues to hold her feet to the fire, and nobody else has been held to the fire like this about anything that's happened in the Middle East. And I think that's a little problematic.
No,
And
there have been genocides in Congo. There have been so many places that have not been publicized, but no other president or vice president's feet have been held to the fire as hers has. And I don't think that's fair.
Sure.
But I also think that it's, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
But I also think that she's only had, everybody expects her to have like a plan and a policy. She's only accepted the nomination, 4 weeks ago? Less than 4
And
weeks
may I
ago?
say this, Donald Trump has nothing.
No plans.
What do you say? I have a
concept of a plan. I have a concept of a plan.
So what you're saying is you have a framework,
If that.
a template.
What do you call a circle when you put the circle and then you put you got the middle?
Diagram.
You draw a circle, bitches.
It's not a plan. It's not a plan. And to your point, like, you're right. Like, none of these things started with VP Harris, right? And they may not end with her either, right? This has been things that have been going on for years. I think the challenge that she has is that, unlike other people who've been running for president when there's been conflict in the Middle East, you didn't see babies being blown up on TikTok and on Instagram. You didn't see body parts being spewed about because bombs that the United States is paying for, is manufactured in America, is being used to wage war in the Middle East. And so I think she is, a victim of the social media era that we live in, because people are able to see this war in a way that they didn't see it under the Bush years. They didn't see it under the Clinton years. And so that part of it is unfair. But it's not her fault, but it's her job to clean it up.
I have a question.
That's what happens when you run for president.
May I ask a
It is
question?
your job.
Max, a question.
Yeah.
America has been known to take and blow up. We blew up a whole, what was it, 2 cities, Hiroshima and
Nagasaki.
blew them up. Like literally wiped them off the fucking map. So who are
didn't
we
have
to throw stones? Like we ain't did the dirty shit. Took Hawaii from people. Let's be very clear. Took land from Native Americans.
Absolutely.
Came
No,
from the
when
Native. So
people
like,
say that
you know, like it's very
one
conflicting.
thing that is like annoying when these politicians say, "Oh, you know, violence has no place in American politics." What are you talking about?
America's
Just
made
like,
on violence.
What the hell are you talking about? This country was absolutely founded on violence.
Yes.
It's sustained on violence. Our media is sustained on violence. Our children, that is what they are consuming. The ways that we speak to one another is grounded in violence because that is the type of country that we live in. And it's going to be that way until people decide we don't want it to be that way no more.
And to be very clear, like I don't know too much about it, but I do know that someone bombed some people in Israel and the Israel attacked back. Just like how we had 9/11, someone did something to us and we attacked back. So who are we to tell them how to handle their differences? What's the difference between us and them?
Well,
you get what I'm saying?
The difference is that, you know, this didn't start on October 7th. You're talking about the initial attack that happened.
Yeah, that made it all blow up.
Right. They have had these incidences going back since the 60s, the 50s, when people decided that for people who were living in the region before, that they were going to create an Israeli state, even though people were already living there and it was their land. Similar to indigenous people in this country, Native American people in this country. And so the difference is that these folks, many have decided that they're going to fight back, right? You know, it's interesting, like my great grandfather that I mentioned earlier, right? Like he's a national hero today. But like immediately after that, he was a terrorist. Like he was wanted by the government. Like people turned him in. He didn't become a hero until after the history books were written about
Which is typically
what happens, right? And so like, you know, what one person's villain is another person's hero. It's just a matter of perspective and where you're sitting on it, right? I don't know what it's like to live in the Middle East. I don't know what it's like to have my land taken from me. Well, ish. Have my land taken from me in the ways that Palestinians do. And so, like, also, who am I to say the ways that Palestinians are allowed to fight back and defend themselves and their right to exist, right?
Yeah,
and I think
that's what I'm
it's
saying.
important for us to all be more educated about these things because they impact what's going on here. Because when we send in millions of dollars over there for bombs and
Don't
guns and
understand
this
that
and the
shit.
third, that's money that's not being used for bridges, highways, schools, hospitals, all the things that we need here. Because I don't know if y'all seen Japan, but they look like they live in the Jetson era. And America is looking real janky. We don't got no high-speed trains.
Is Flint water fixed yet?
Flint don't got clean water.
Goddamn.
Right, okay? And like, y'all got money for bombs. It doesn't make sense to me. But
and I got student loan debt.
and you student loan debt. Okay, say it again. Damn. You know how many times they could have taken care of your student loan debt if they would have just
Baby,
okay,
I can
all right.
do a lot. I can boost the economy by myself if they take the student loan debt from me.
I got a plan, bitch.
I got a plan. Not a concept, ho. I got a plan.
Wipe me down, okay? All of it. Get rid of it.
What else you got for my
We're gonna talk about Diddy. You know, we've been reporting it all season. So yesterday, Diddy was arrested.
It was.
It makes me happy because now, did y'all see the recent pictures of him just going around Miami or New York, just meeting fans and taking pictures,
Like
acting
everything's normal, right?
that pissed me off because you know what you did. And then now you're including the kids and family into your own personal shenanigans. I think Rodney said it last season, but keep the kids out of it.
Yeah.
Like
Kevin Kev said something. You know, he's a green checker.
Oh. We all know the world doesn't care about the black conflicts in Africa, but I don't think the Congo is an ally to USA.
Ally, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. No, there's one of the things. I was on Revolt TV just really quickly. I was on Revolt TV and they were talking about like, you know, well, black people versus immigrants. And I'm just like, the reason why these people are coming here is because the United States doesn't know how to mind its fucking business. We're always in somebody else's business, destabilizing shit, fucking up countries and this and the third. And then we're like, but don't come here. Well, no, girl, I'm gonna come here because obviously things is good over here. You over here. And I could stay in my country of origin if you weren't over here flooding the country with bombs and guns and drugs and all of the other things that we know America does. U.S. foreign policy does. And that's bipartisan. Democrats do it. Republicans do it. Everybody do it. And it's our tax dollars.
I don't
but we
do
don't
it.
Right. But we don't do it. We don't do it. We just be paying for it. We just pay for it. Though. Involuntarily. Yeah. But Diddy.
Yes.
Keeping us on topic.
I told you I was running off my resume. You know I'm Jamaican. I need like 5-6 jobs.
Okay, that's my bloodline.
You know what?
And if you don't have that many, you're not Jamaican.
You're not Jamaican. You're not Jamaican.
Diddy's going down. They're gonna have real fun with him in jail. He had over 1,000 bottles of Johnson Johnson baby oil.
Are we sure it was Johnson?
Oh my God!
Or did you
Oh
just
my
make that up?
God! Yeah.
I mean, I'm thinking like if it's Diddy, you're gonna have like
No problem.
Like,
Maybe it was the jail and not the oil. Because the jail is the oil. But I'm saying there's a difference between the jail and the oil.
Bitch, Diddy had a sex party allegedly. Bitch said he going out with a bag.
a real bang.
Wow, who needs that much baby oil?
But they said they confiscated that when they ran in the house a long time ago. So that's
Get the one back in March.
He's so silly.
Diddy said, bitch, free fall, I'm about to be locked up.
Oh my God! I just wonder, like, first of all, somebody in the prosecutor's office there's a Butch Queen in there. That's real shady because they didn't have to put all of that in the they didn't have to put all of that in the documents.
But if they confiscated it, they had to say what they took.
Just in case he wanted
I'm not mad at it.
Shady
I'm
for
not
whoever
mad at it.
accessed it from TMZ or whoever and got the details and was like, girl, they found 1,000 bottles of baby oil.
Right. What else did they find? Why is
Lube.
baby oil the only thing we know
Wait,
about?
what's that song? Let me no. Turn off the light, turn on the candles.
Oh, Teddy Pendergrass. Yeah. Teddy.
Once you landed, it was good. I think I think this is the first of many things that's about to occur.
Yes.
Diddy has been hit with a RICO charge. That means that you are the gang leader, but there are some other people that was doing your dirty work.
Yeah.
Okay? R. Kelly got hit with a RICO charge.
Yes.
The crazy thing about
Donald
RICO
Trump
charges,
got hit with a RICO charge. Yeah.
Crazy thing about RICO charges is most of the time there are people who were enabling it, but they don't always go down. And I think that's the fucked up situation about this is because, perfect example, R. Kelly, like there are people that have had interviews on like Surviving R. Kelly that said like, Robert can't read. Robert can't book flights. So somebody was booking these flights for these little girls.
Absolutely.
Somebody was doing these hotels. He can't. His brother was like, he can't even count. He can't find money like that. Like he just knew he had a lot. So it's like, Solomon, that's not funny. But it's like most of the time, there's somebody who is like he's the person who's supplying it, and he's gonna go down for it, unfortunately. And I hope they put him under the jail. They're probably gonna he's probably gonna end up being in jail and still getting special treatment. Let's be honest.
You know what?
But I hope they put him under.
What is sad to me is that Diddy, rightfully so, and R. Kelly deserves to be in jail, but Donald Trump did the same exact thing
right now.
I'm just saying, and he's out here running for president. Make fucking sense.
He's white. He's white. He's white. We know what that's about. But also, like, we got to hold our own people accountable because for years, I knew that R. Kelly, for example, was having inappropriate relationship with young
Everybody
girls
knew that.
since at least 2001.
Yeah.
Okay, I was
from
11
Chicago. They'll be
years
like,
old.
R. Kelly was sitting outside of our high school,
Yes.
come out like meeting fans.
Yes.
Nigga,
Yes.
you are 40. Why are you out here?
Why are
meeting
you out here
18-year-old
outside
fans?
the high school? Right. And
Bumping
so,
your
like,
music.
how many people enabled that?
Marco and I didn't.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
How many people enabled that and allowed that to happen? And you're right. A lot of people who should also be held accountable will not be because they'll get deals. They'll flip. They'll give testimony that will help lock them up. Because that's the thing about like our criminal justice system in America is that it's very much like it's a show. It's not really about justice. Because if it was really about justice, everybody should get locked up. If that was the case, everybody that was involved trafficking young girls should get locked up. Why are you getting a deal just because you want to be able to say that you put Diddy behind bars? It's all a show. It's a show.
I think we also have to realize that RICO cases can be brought up and people get those charges, but this can be a long trial.
Yes.
I.e. Young Thug. This shit,
yeah,
Young
yeah.
Thug. Like, if they don't make a documentary out of this,
Oh, no,
because it's
absolutely.
funny at this
They're
point.
absolutely
It's just
going
like,
to.
let him go. But at the same time, it's like,
This is longer than O.J. Simpson. Like, no, they're gonna make a documentary about this for sure.
I have a question. Y'all think he's the only?
I know where you're going.
don't do it, Rodney.
Do y'all think he's the only, man back from the '90s to stay in New York? That's gonna be the only one.
I don't think so. We haven't heard Damon Dash speak in so many years, and he's just now doing interviews and things.
Did y'all not see who stepped down today? Shit. He was the president of the record label that has like Kehlani and like, no, it wasn't Def Jam. 300, is that the record label? I think it's 300. I'll have to look it up, but he stepped down today. So there, and he's like, I'm now.
Baby, Diddy about to sing.
Let me tell you something.
Because he's gonna be like, I ain't the only one. Yeah,
I wouldn't
That's
be
what I'm
shocked if this man
saying.
stepped down and tomorrow he's in Bali. Like, they're
Listen,
getting the fuck out of here.
I was surprised that Diddy stayed. I was surprised.
He
that
have no
Diddy stayed.
choice. He had a passport since April.
Yeah, that's true.
Let me ask you this: do you think somebody's?
You're being messy.
You
now.
you are. You really.
I'm just saying they are about to go down.
I think that there are some people who are probably making appropriate moves right now to ensure that they are protected in this situation, right?
For sure.
I'm not talking about them because they run the free world and y'all ain't finna find me in an alley. I ain't doing that. Allegedly. I'm sorry, allegedly.
Allegedly.
But I will say that I think that people are making appropriate moves because we've even seen world famous faith leaders make appropriate moves when their name got brought up in some stuff. Because let's be very clear, some people was like, it's time for me to give over my legacy. And their name came up in some mess. So allegedly, I think we're going to see a lot of people start to step back and move around and move appropriately.
The appetite of many of the powerful, not all, but many of the powerful, is children. It is. It always
so nasty.
It always comes back because that's how. If you even look at any, my spouse and I, we talk about this. If you even look at any Disney movie and there's like the villain, who is the villain always after? Children, young people, like puppies, Simba. Aladdin was a teenager. Jafar was after him. They're always after, the villain is always after youth. Ursula, always after young people. It's the appetite of the powerful.
You're
It's
a
the
smart
appetite.
man.
It's the appetite of the rich. It's the appetite of people in politics. It's the appetite of that.
too.
It's like it's always boils back down to children. Why do you think they got rid of Jeffrey Epstein? Because he would have told on everybody.
Maybe
I think that, and somebody said this today, I'm not going to say his name because I don't really like him, but he said something along the lines like, if you ran a train with Diddy, you going to jail too. And I think
I
that's
read that. This shit was
And I
so
think it's
funny.
true. So if you ever got caught with some baby oil between your cheeks or on your meat with Diddy,
I have a question.
Cat Williams wasn't lying.
I don't think. There are two people in the industry that I think are annoying, but they never lie, and it's Cat Williams and 50 Cent and Nicki Minaj. Well, three people. I don't think none
And
of them
Monique.
lie. And Monique. Those sort of people, crazy. People do not like them.
but
People
they
do
gonna
not like
tell you-
Monique. People do not like
But it's
Nicki.
because
People don't
they
like
tell the
50
truth.
or
They
Cat
never
Williams.
like the truth
But they never
teller.
get caught in a lie. Every time they do something, it's the truth.
And what was that fine black man like about a couple of years ago? They found out he was messing with children, underage boys. He was like Instagram famous.
Ooh.
This was a big thing. Y'all didn't see this?
The basketball player?
No, he was Instagram famous, fine black gay man. And then they found out that he was messing with underage kids.
I don't know who that is.
I'm gonna look it up, but yeah.
It's always. I know people from Detroit. There used to be the city council president there that his name was Charles Pugh, and like
Yes,
if you are of a certain age and you're from Detroit, you know, and you're a black gay man, you know Charles Pugh, and he was famous in his city, and so because of that, he felt like he could do what he want. You know?
Did he ever get caught?
Yes, he did.
He got charged?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Sure did. Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, Kevin, just a minute. Somebody said Nicki Minaj lies all the time and sticks her foot in her mouth. She ain't got caught in a lie yet. Let's be honest.
Well, she
hasn't.
does lie.
No, she has not been caught in a lie yet.
That was your truth, not
When
mine.
has she been caught in a lie? I know this is not.
The COVID and the testicles thing.
But people actually had side effects to COVID vaccines.
Yes, but not that side.
How do you know his nuts wasn't swollen? Did you go to Jamaica and look?
Trinidad.
Did you go look?
No, I did not.
All right. Then you,
I thought you were about to do Tia Kim a little bit. That's all.
okay, wait. I love the Auntie's podcast. That shit is funny.
We don't ever talk about that.
We're gonna have
but
to
yeah,
get
we
into
gotta talk
that.
about that next week.
Lord.
Yeah, all right, but
But yeah, Diddy's going to jail.
yeah.
He's going to jail.
Before we leave the streets, I see you got your flyers here.
I do.
Why we, the people in Atlanta, should vote for you?
Well, there's a variety of reasons. Go green.
Oh,
I see what you did.
Yeah, hey, go green. You heard him.
Go green. There's a variety of reasons. One, I think it's important that we have more younger people in political office, right? And I am also someone who believes in term limits. Like, why are these people dying in office? Like, it was
Yes.
ridiculous that Biden was trying to run for president, and we can clearly see that, like, your mental faculties are fading because you're an old man. And that's not just in the White House. That's in City Hall. That's at our state capitol. And so
The
it's
city
important-
commissioner, right, is
So it's important that we have people who look our age because they're going to prioritize the issues that we have. A lot of young people, Gen Zs, millennials, they're making more money than their parents did when they purchased their homes, but they aren't able to afford to purchase property in the city of Atlanta because rent is so high and the cost of living has continued to go up. And we need people who have a plan for that. People who have a plan for homelessness. People who have a plan for mass transit, for ending the HIV epidemic in our city. And I believe that my leadership in this city is a love letter to the people of Atlanta. You being from Atlanta is not enough. You have to love Atlanta. And I've loved this city for my whole life. The fights that I pick are always for the little guy. They're always for working people. They're always for the people that gets ignored. And it's time that we have somebody who's serious about representing us, making sure that, we spend so much money with these companies. Microsoft just got $75 million tax break. Elon Musk, who's talking about why didn't they try to kill Harris? He got $10 million in a tax break from our county leaders, from our city leaders. They just gave him $10 million to create jobs for people who don't even live in the city of Atlanta. None of those small businesses that we go to all the time got that type of money, except for when I went to City Hall and demanded that when the water was off for 5 days, we got $7.5 million in financial relief and direct assistance for small businesses, Black-owned businesses, women-owned businesses. And so, like, I'm not just here because I have ideas, but because I have a history of leadership, even without the title, making sure that Black-owned child care providers got their fair share of pre-K dollars so that, like, Black people can afford to go to work, but our kids are also educated as well. Those are, like, everyday issues. And so you need somebody who cares about those everyday issues. And I believe that, my history in this city proves that. So that's why I feel like I should be on city council.
I want to say something too, because my good sister, Representative Erica Thomas.
Yeah,
that's when I
yeah,
first
yeah,
met you
yeah,
at the thing. And one thing I liked about you, even though you didn't win the city council, you kept doing the work.
Absolutely.
And I think that's very important. Like, you're not running for show, running for a title, running to scratch somebody back. Like, you are always doing the work, and that's commendable. And
Thank you.
applaud you for that.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Because you know what? I don't need the validator of city council to know that I'm worth something. And a lot of people run for public office because they need a title to feel like they're somebody.
Yeah.
And I really thank God for my grandmother and my mother because they always told me that I was somebody. Even when we didn't get along, I always had a sense of worth. And so because of that, I don't need to have a title in order to feel like I'm somebody. I'm doing this because it's the right thing to do. And it's a sacrifice, my spouse and I, we have a home in Jamaica. I don't get to go down there as often and connect with my family as much as I want to because I'm here doing the work. We have a really good life. I don't need this for a come up. We're blessed. And so for me, it's just because it's the right time. It's always the right time to stand up for what's right.
And I have one question. I have to ask this. So, wait, will you be the first? I don't know how to ask this. So I know Antonio.
No, and technically Antonio was the first bisexual man on Atlanta City Council.
Do you think he was a good representation of what he did when he was there?
I think so. A lot of the, after Rayshard Brooks was killed in the Wendy's parking lot, he was the first city council member in the country to introduce a bill that was serious about reforming police in the city of Atlanta. And it only lost by 1 vote. And that was the reason why I ran for city council in 2021. Because I was like, if I was on city council, this thing would have passed. And so I think, you know, were there challenges? Every elected official is going to have challenges, of course, right? But I think overall he represented his constituents.
And that's why I agree. I really wish that y'all. I never understood. I didn't see if y'all did. Did y'all ever like co-partner stuff together?
We work together all the time.
Okay.
You know, and we work together. In fact, we introduced some legislation together around banning source of income discrimination. So basically, landlords can't discriminate against you because you're paying for your housing with a voucher or something like that. And so, like, we've done substantive things together. We've hosted lots of community meetings and conversations. In fact, during the summer of uprising after the killings of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and Rayshard Brooks, we were in them streets heavy, organizing. And that's the one thing that people don't like really remember is that most of the people that was leading those protests, they was the girls. They was the part of the alphabet people, right? And like, it's interesting, you know, it's part of the reason why I don't tolerate a certain level of disrespect from straight black folks, because I'm like, when the police kill your loved one, I'm the one that shows up. And all my queerness and all my bisexualness, and I'm the one that speaks truth to power. I'm the one that gets justice for your loved one. So you're going to respect me. And you're going to respect the other people, like the black trans folks. People don't know. In Atlanta, it was black trans women who decriminalized cannabis in the city of Atlanta. Nobody thanks them for that. But the trade always out there smoking and now they don't got to worry about getting locked up. They get a ticket. But they'll be the first to disrespect a black trans woman. And they the ones that put their body on the line for you. And so, like, I don't tolerate that disrespect. In fact, I have somebody in my race. We had a debate yesterday at the Concerned Black Clergy, and he referred to me as Mr. Sassy.
Nope.
And
Oh,
right. And
did you whack him?
you know, I had to keep a certain level. I had to keep a certain level of decorum, but I was just like, don't disrespect me and don't disrespect yourself. There are children in this room, but most importantly, don't disrespect me. I don't know, like, you're not finna hold me. Like, my resume and the receipts are solid.
They are.
Please don't try me, because like when it comes down to it, who really loves black people, like, you don't want to have that fight with me. You don't.
I know we got some questions. What y'all want to do?
Okay. What's up?
All right. I know because Shazam read.
Shazam.
Oh no, I was listening. I'm very I know I'm very tough on people we bring on the show, and I'm actually enjoying it. I'm thoroughly enjoying this because y'all don't know me. I'd be like, girl, what the fuck is happening? And I don't feel like that right now. Before we left the topic though, I wanted to say we were talking about like black people in general. Shout out to Lindsay Davis. She had on an amazing suit at the debate, and when I saw your pinstripe, it reminded me like her suit was pinstripe. She had the shoulders. Her hair was whipped. Great.
Yes.
Situation with Shazam. I know we've been running our mouths, so we can make this really quick. Situation with Shazam, you guys know it's always named after a song, whether it's an R&B song, a gospel song, what have you. And today, since we are talking about politics and sex and dicks and ass and all that kind of stuff, it's going to be Free Your Mind in Vogue.
Oh, God.
I thought you was going to say something from Diddy. I was like,
Oh, no. Free Your Mind.
That would have been a
I
gas.
thought you was going to say something from Diddy. I was like, oh, shit.
I'm not thinking I could have did that.
You
That
could have
would've
did a
been
Junior
good.
Mafia song or something. Listen, you should never trust somebody who all of their associates have been like locked up or killed. That's how we always knew that Diddy was the villain.
Jay-Z said, we say you.
Hey,
everybody
Jay.
broke except
Oh, we
for
sure
you.
did. He did see me this weekend.
So,
Jay.
free your. Oh, hey.
Hey, Jay.
Oh, hey, Jay Royal. Hey, girl.
Hey,
Free Your Mind in Vogue. So In Vogue wrote a whole song about like basically you see these different things going on. I wear tight clothing, high heel shoes. That doesn't mean I'm a prostitute. So we see all these different things and all these different notions and ideas that folks make up around people who are gay, bisexual, all those types of things. And I think we can have a really interesting discussion around like how we've had to force people around us to free their minds, right? So for everybody on the couch and in the chair, if you're thick in the chair.
Oh, thick.
And for the bones on the couch.
Y'all, they called me thick earlier today, too.
Hey, Tangle.
I don't think it was
Not
no,
bad.
it was just
Oh.
Not bad.
No, they didn't. The guest who doesn't know you called you thick. So, free your mind. Do you think that your family has ever been mistreated because of your sexuality? Not you, but your
Yes.
family.
Yes.
How so?
Ooh.
Yes.
Ooh.
My grandmother has a brother that she doesn't speak to because of him.
Well, you're Jamaican, so this is deep.
Yeah, my grandmother has a brother who she doesn't speak to
Because of...
because he was very disrespectful when he found out about my sexuality. Now, he found out about it on CNN, of course.
So,
long story.
and you identify as...
Bisexual.
But you have a...
I have a wife.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he still feels some type of way about you being
Oh,
bisexual but having a wife?
Yeah. I mean, that was before I had a wife. This was years ago. I don't think my grandmother's spoken to him in over 10 years.
Okay.
But yeah, you know, Jamaicans, they not down with anything that's not all, but many Jamaicans are not down with anything that's not either you this or you that. And you better be straight.
So do you still identify bisexual even though you're married?
Yeah. I mean, I'm with y'all. Like,
Are you in an open marriage?
we are poly.
Okay.
Yeah. Because she's also queer. Part of the, like, I don't typically date straight women.
Okay.
Because I'm just like, if you're bisexual, it shouldn't really be that hard for you to understand me,
Okay.
right? Like, if you're also bisexual. So, like, that, it's funny because my dad, you know, she had to, tell him one day, she's like, he's not straight. You do know this, right? Like, we're together, and, like, I know you're really happy in this and the third, but, like, Devin's not straight. And I was like, I'm glad that you said that to him because I'm tired of having the same conversation with him.
I love it.
Yeah.
Damn. So
Anybody else ever feel like their family has like experienced discrimination or been affected because of their sexuality?
I don't want to get emotional, but because you know I love my family. My uncle, and you know I'm keeping real. Sorry, cousins. Y'all know, well, we good now. We love each other now. I had one particular uncle who I just adored and loved so much. Like, just that was my guy. And when he found out I was gay, he said some choice words, and me and his kids got into it. And you know, he tried to go to my mom. This is one of my mom's. That's her favorite brother. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it was a tough time for my family. And what hurt me the most, and I don't want to keep too much on me because I don't want to get emotional. It was like, I am the same Rodney that you love, that you know, that you claim is so smart and so well mannered and so this stuff. And the one thing that you don't agree with, denounced everything we
about
built.
me. Yeah, that's crazy.
And that pissed me
nuts.
off so bad. But I think I'm gonna say now we are in a great space, and I love it for. But that was a dark time for me, and I want to keep it moving.
Solomon, how about you?
I don't think so. And if they did, I don't know about it.
Yeah, I can't recall either. Marco?
I'm very much so like Solomon. Like, no. Like,
Yeah.
That's a blessing.
I think that if it did, my mother and my father was and are my like biggest supporters, and like they're clapping for me so loud that I can't hear it. But I think they probably like protected me or shielded me from it.
Right, they
So
didn't. They didn't bring it back to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And my grandmother didn't bring it back to me. I was like, "Where's Uncle Lloyd?"
You
And
picked up on it.
Yeah, and she was just like, finally, she could like confess that like he saw you on the news and you was doing this gay rights thing, and he was like, "I ain't down with that." And it was funny because I ended up bumping into him in Walmart one day, and I was with a friend, and I tried to like go up to hug him, and he was like acting funny.
Oh my
And
God.
my friend was like, "Who is that? Do you know this man?" I was like, "That's my uncle, my grandmother's brother." And I didn't realize, I was like, me being silly, I'm like, maybe he's got like dementia or something like that.
That's a read. You got some uncle in the wall. You're like, you didn't know this.
I was like, maybe he's dementia or something. I mean, he's an old man. So
Maybe he had a drink or two.
and then
Jamaican
it
rum is
finally,
strong.
right, raising nephews ain't nothing to fuck with. But then it finally clicked. I was like, oh shit, he saw the CNN interview and got around. And then I was like, this must be part of the reason why she's not dealing with him right now.
So specifically for you, because I ask him questions all the time, do you feel like your candidacy or your race is at risk because of your sexuality?
No, not in Atlanta. Like, I feel like
Oh, okay.
in Atlanta, like, this is possible.
Okay.
If I was running in Macon, maybe not. Right? Okay. Maybe not in Augusta. Definitely not in Valdosta. Maybe Savannah.
I was about Savannah. What about Savannah?
Maybe Savannah. But Atlanta, this is possible, right? Because this is a very fluid city. whether we want to acknowledge that or not.
Do you feel like you're going to be subject to more targeted attacks as you experienced yesterday during the debate?
I'm sure, but also like this isn't the first time I've experienced targeted attacks, not just for my sexuality, but just even for my political beliefs. When I was running for state senate in 2020, Donald Trump's on TV talking all this crazy shit and this and the third. I had a man while I was at a press conference say in the comments he would lynch me, and then later he showed up to an event a few weeks later. Oh. Now, I looked at it and I was like, I'll hog tie your ass with that rope. He wasn't no big white man. I was like, I can't beat up everybody, but you, I know I can kick your ass.
I know I can whoop your ass.
You, sir, I'll knock you over. Shut up. But, he could have come with a gun. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so, in some ways, the disrespect from my opponent, who shall not be named, because I don't actually say any of my opponent's names. The only name you need to be worried about is Devin Ward.
Yeah.
But
Green.
In some ways, his disrespect was child's play, because I've had people like come after me in ways that were even more serious than that. Yeah. That had nothing to do with my sexuality.
So it looks like we have some fifth seaters saying some things. Solomon?
Jay Blue said, yep, I'm half Jamaican, and I had some people that had a big problem with me after I came out. Mm-hmm. He also said my uncle Silbert actually shut down my uncle Eddie when he was trying to be real disrespectful, of course, when I was not there. That really made me feel loved.
Oh, yeah. We love a family member who's going to stand up.
Yeah,
we love it.
Yeah. My grandmother, she's like, that's my grandson. I'm her first grandchild, so like, I can do no wrong.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah. So I know we don't have a lot of time, but a question I really have for all of you guys is, what rights do you feel as a black queer man or a black man on the LGBTQIA plus spectrum? Mm-hmm. What rights do you feel are most at risk outside of same-sex marriage for you that affect you personally currently? Because we always hear people talk about women rights. Mm-hmm. Ain't none of us got no coochies. We not popping out no babies. Ain't nobody in here going to, well, I'm not going to say we won't need IVF, because if you want children, you might have a woman that might need IVF. Mm-hmm. But those things are not directly affecting our bodies or our situations. So what's something that you can like grab onto that you believe is like being attacked outside of?
I would say medication for gay black men. I think they're going to disable the women and then go to black people and then gay people. That's what I truly feel like they're going to do. If they keep going down this trajectory and like just keep climbing, it's going to affect us.
I mean, looking like the Handmaid's Tale out here.
I tell them all the time to watch that show because like they're going to be like, oh, we're not sponsoring HIV medicine no more because we believe in the Bible and and
Tennessee just turned down all that HIV prevention money from the federal government, and they have one of the highest HIV
that
rates
is so
in the world.
That's scary. And knock on wood, I don't have it, but I know people who does have it, and that to me, that worries me every day for my friends who needs that medication because that shit is expensive. I'm on Aptitude right now, and that shit is like $4,500. You know what I'm saying? Like, bitch, if I come to me down.
Ain't nothing wrong with condoms, y'all.
No, okay.
I'm just saying,
nothing wrong with condoms.
I like a little raw every now and then, so I'm on a little shot.
All right.
This is a perfect segue to tell y'all to go watch the live show. Subscribe and go watch the live show. Here's some things about condoms and lube. And ain't no girl on this couch using no condom. Follow me. What about you? What kind of rights do you feel, if they're professionally related, professionally or personal, that you think are under attack right now with the current election?
Honestly, everything. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think individual rights as a black individual. Mm-hmm. There's so much at stake, especially when you see how people, when I see how people who look like me are targeted in the streets, when I see how people who look like me are lagging behind in education, when I see how people who look like me are falling behind financially. There are so many different avenues that are affected. And I mean, that was going to lead into one of my questions later. Well, I think all of your questions did, but so we'll just have to figure it out.
We'll get to the sexy questions. Let's talk about sex.
So honestly, I don't think I have the.
I'm sorry, they say shit.
I don't think I have the luxury to choose.
Oh, Solomon, that was
Say that again.
Yes.
Yes, please.
I don't think I have the luxury to choose because, in one respect, I'm a black male who identifies as gay, right? And so I don't have the luxury of saying, I can concentrate on the gay stuff, or I can concentrate on the black stuff.
Come on.
And as a male who has a mother and a sister, I have to focus on women's rights. Yeah. Like that shit is important. Yeah. When I think about my nieces, my nephews, my godchildren, I have to think about education. When I think about going to the grocery store and I don't pay for eggs, but and I don't steal them. Let me just
I say, well, girl, what do you do?
So you got a hand in the backyard, like
but when I think
you
about
just got a hand in your closet.
Look. Mate. But when I think about the price of groceries, when I think about the price of just living, I don't have the luxury. And when I also think about my lease is gonna be up soon, and just having to shop around and look for a place, that is different. And I am fortunate enough to not have student loans anymore. And so when people are talking about having student loans, I also don't have that luxury because the people who are important to me, the issues that are important to them are important to me.
Yeah.
And so we have to look across the board 100%. I do not believe that we have the luxury to choose.
And with that being said, Solomon is running for councilman of Buckhead.
Okay.
That was good.
Yes.
I really appreciated that. And I think I don't have anything to say after that. Like, we really don't have the luxury to choose. And that kind of changed my whole trajectory about thinking about it. Like, we really don't have the luxury because no matter how you choose, if you choose one thing, it's going to affect people that you know, people in your family.
But it is also interesting. Like, you don't realize how the things that we are detached from still affects us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, because I don't have a womb, because I don't have ovaries, still be trying to have kids though. But because I don't have a womb and because I don't have ovaries, we think that we are immune to policy.
Yeah.
We are not.
That's true.
No, because when they want to play with people, this is about body autonomy. Like, they're literally trying to control what people do with their bodies. And you think that's just going to stop with women? Like,
right.
That's just the first on the list.
One of my mentors always told me, if you don't have a seat at the table to have your voice heard, you're on the table. And right now, there are several people that are on the table that are, if they get 8, we next.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Like they said in life, we on deck, nigga.
Yeah, for sure. I'm concerned about Donald Trump specifically and how he's like, we're just going to give total immunity to the police. And I'm just like,
That too.
that's not a good idea at all. Like, total immunity? Like, we just saw a man get killed because he refused to sign a traffic ticket for an accident that he called the police for. Tased 2 minutes away from his house. On camera. And the cop is still walking around free.
So,
And so you're talking about total immunity. That's not cool because the way that policing is done in America, we know that it's not done equitable. Listen, we just saw the man who tried to kill Donald Trump the second time. If you watch the arrest video, right, in the same state as the football player who just got pulled over for a traffic incident. Nobody slammed this man.
About that. That was a sensitive topic last week.
Nobody slammed this man to the ground. But no, seriously, nobody slammed. This man tried to assassinate someone running for president, and because he's white, he's alive. The man who the little teenager who killed them people at the school up 85 on Appalachia High School, still alive.
Okay.
You fall asleep in a Wendy's parking lot, you dead. That don't make no sense. And so the idea that Donald Trump's talking about total immunity for the police, that's unacceptable to me. That's absolutely full stop unacceptable.
But it reads into the narrative of our nation's history. And so during slavery, slave masters had total immunity when they punished and killed their slaves.
And the first set of police were slave catchers.
Yes.
Charleston Watch.
And so I think it is, again, very important for us to be aware, to be knowledgeable, because we had this conversation before. The America that we are seeing today in our 30s and 40s is the same America that our parents saw, that our grandparents saw, that our great-grandparents saw. And if you are not concerned, you probably should be.
The last thing I'll say before I pass it over to Solomon is I think that another thing that everyone has to be aware of is it is a mechanism that dictators have used historically to put the oppressed against the oppressed.
Absolutely.
And they start making the oppressed argue amongst each other and turn against each other. So now it's like, well, we have black men voting for Trump, and then we got black women voting for Kamala, and we got Hispanics voting for this, and everybody turns up against each other, and now we have Trump in office because we couldn't all maneuver and unite. So I think if there was anything I would want everyone to understand is have compassion for your neighbors and literally just this isn't an election about Republican or Democrat. It's about right versus wrong and about being human and caring about people or not caring about people. But that was good. I really appreciated that. And Solomon, child, let me find out. I'll be your political manager. I won't tell your secrets.
No, I mean, seriously, we do have elections coming up in 2025 for a full council. The reason I'm running this year is because someone resigned. And so it's a special election. Typically, city council elections are not in presidential elections. So if you live in Buckhead, we have a council member who are retiring in the Buckhead area. Let's talk.
Solomon be too damn real.
No, that's what we need. That's what we need.
Real.
Oh my gosh, I hate when people say that.
You got a
I
campaign
can't
manager?
I can't do politics.
I do now.
I'm too real. No, that's absolutely who the hell we need, especially a local government. That's why you think I'm sitting here with y'all, being real. Now, I don't know if I could run for president after this. Maybe. I wouldn't want.
I'll still vote for you.
Okay.
Well, y'all heard it here first. Solomon might never. But all right. So for today's Menage a Trois, we're just gonna have a real conversation. And
What were we having before?
Ooh, whack him again.
You know what? He can come the fuck back. He can come back. So when you win your candidacy, bring your ass back to the couch. That was good.
I'm sorry, Solomon. I'm sorry.
Even Solomon shook.
Honestly, rightfully so. Solomon, you have been whacking people since we walked through the front door. And yes, you didn't whack Rodney, you whacked Marco. I don't think you whacked me yet, but I'm just watching.
I mean, I'm just, but all right. So, as we're talking about navigating, because, we talked about pride in politics, but as we are navigating this world, I think it's also important for us to figure out how do we navigate our closer relationships. And so how do you all navigate conversations about sex with your partner?
Let's go here. Queer. Bye.
How did I know that?
What you said? What? Go where?
Here.
Where?
Queer.
Bye.
Here, queer. Bye, girl. Bye, Polly. How do we talk about it? One, I
I'm
think
really interested.
it was a conversation we had basically kind of on day one once we knew that we liked each other like that. I was very upfront, hey, I'm not monogamous. I knew that before I came to this relationship. In fact, I figured that out after I left my relationship prior to that, and I was single for almost 3-4 years.
Before you go, were you with a man or a woman before?
I was with a man.
Okay.
Yeah, I was with a man.
A man.
A man. He's a man. I was with a man.
Rodney.
I was with a man. Yes.
The way he said it.
A man. Yes.
That tickled you?
Tickled me. Oh, I'm loving this. Keep going.
Yeah, no, I was with a man before that, and infidelity wasn't the issue. I just felt like there were times where I felt like he was sexually selfish. And I was like,
Ooh,
there
what
are
does that
things
mean?
Yeah, please.
There were
Thank
things
you.
that I wanted in the relationship that he was either uncomfortable or unwilling to do to make me satisfied.
All right, we like to get really deep here. So was it like he didn't want to bottom, or what was it?
Or be poly or open?
No, I think it was one, he didn't want to top.
Oh, he didn't want to
He
top.
didn't want to top.
Okay.
And for me, I'm like, I consider myself verse, probably more of a verse top at this point in my life. But there are, for me, submitting to someone sexually is like a way that I relinquish control because I'm always in control of everything.
Oh, I get
I'm
that.
always a leader. I'm always.
Get that shit.
I'm all. Oh, I get that. That's me too. Ooh, I get that. That's me too.
Not
That's me too.
Rodney.
Ain't nobody Rodney no mind. The opener's even like, okay, girl.
But when you're always in charge, when you're always in leadership, when people are always looking for you to have answers and a solution and to fix problems and all of
you
those
just want to
things.
submit.
Sometimes you
Just
want to
wanna
be
purr.
Halle Berry in Monsters Ball and say, just make me feel good. Just make me feel good. Just make me feel good. And so, that was... So that was a challenge. And so because of that, we ended up breaking up for other reasons. But I knew after that relationship ended, I was like, I probably would not be in another monogamous relationship. So when we met, I actually met her. She was volunteering on my first campaign. I met her in front of my voting precinct. Yeah. I decided to do the sleazy politician thing. I'm like, let me sleep with the staff. No, I'm just playing.
Oh,
And, actually, you know who connected us? She'll know this today. Erica Thomas. Because Erica, she had texted Erica and was
she ain't
like,
find me no man.
Well, you're not bisexual, girl. She found him a wife.
Bitch, you watch this? You fucked up.
in the Bible, they say when a man findeth a wife, he finds a good thing.
So maybe you should look for a wife.
I don't know. Try to see how he talking about how this queer thing going. It sounds like it's the move. Bitch, I can still go outside and come home.
God. So yeah, I met her. I met her campaigning, and we ended up getting close because shortly after I lost that time, Rayshard Brooks got killed, and I immediately got back to work. So got back organizing. I started working with Antonio on the bill around police reform, and I met back up with her at a protest. It was like in a movie. Like I was walking around in a daze. People was crying in the streets, mad, upset. George Floyd just got killed like a week before, and then Rayshard Brooks got killed for sleeping in a Wendy's parking lot. And she marched up to me. She was with her homegirl. She had a bullhorn in her hand, and she was like, "It's chaos out here. You need to speak to these people." And I was like, "Who's in charge?" And she put the bullhorn in my chest, and she said, "You."
That turned you on.
And I was like,
That shit turned me on.
"Oh, I'm in charge. Okay." So, we had a protest and we educated the people. We shut the freeway down. We actually strategized and we put all the well-meaning white folks on the freeway because I was like, I'm not standing on 75, 85. But y'all can. Y'all absolutely can because they won't hit you. They're not going to hit you. And when the police arrest you, it's going to be very gentle. Like it was the most gentle arrest. They had blankets for them in the paddy wagon. It was really crazy. Really? I'm joking. And so when we started, hanging out and stuff like that, her friends thought I was just gay. And she was like, he might like niggas, but I don't think he's just gay. I think he liked me too. And so we got close the weekend I went to go buy a car in Florida. And I was like, I need somebody to go with me because I realized that the guy I was buying the car from was like a former cop. So I got nervous. I'm like, the cops just killed all these people. I'm leading all these protests. I need to go with somebody. So she came with me and we were in the Airbnb and she came out the bathroom and she was like, she ain't had no clothes on. I was like, whoa.
Oh.
Hold on. I was like, I just want you to know that you're in space with a man that is not just attracted to other men. And so you should be aware of that before you're walking around naked because I'm not your gay best friend.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
And she was like, okay, I'm gonna go and change my clothes in the bathroom. And we were driving back to Atlanta and she was sitting in the seat of the car. It was a Jaguar. She actually made a song about the car. It's on Spotify. Check her out, Penelope French. Really good music, soul artist. And she's sitting in the seat and she was like, this feels like my seat. Ooh. And I was like, oh, this feels like your seat. And then we just were inseparable from that point on. And so it's been 4 years. We've been married for a year. We have a beautiful life together. And
Y'all want babies?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So how do you navigate these conversations about sex?
Yeah, so I think right, full circle. So one of the things in being polyamorous is like you do more communicating than you do like having sex with other people. Like it's really a lot of communication because you're communicating your desires, you're communicating your boundaries, you're able to talk about jealousy because a lot of times people talk about, oh, I can't do ethical non-monogamy or polyamory because like I'm too jealous. Like polyamorous people are jealous. They just communicate about it. They just talk through it. Jealousy just doesn't rule their entire relationship. And a lot of times, I'm not someone who says like monogamous relationships are bad, but I do think there are some things that monogamous relationships can learn from polyamorous relationships. And one of those things I think that they can learn is the unapologetic communication around desire. Right. And in order to do that, you have to be willing to challenge yourself around jealousy. Like, why am I jealous? What insecurity is this bringing up? When she looks at you like this, I get a little jealous because, like, I have this insecurity and I feel safe enough to talk with you about it. And that's where jealousy kind of goes off the rail sometimes because it's like you can choose to be transparent or you can choose to lead in ego. And a lot of times people choose to lead in ego, which is like, I ain't jealous, you know, fuck that nigga, instead of being like, I really just like, I see the way that you look at him and like, I know you love me, but also like, it makes me a little jealous when you look at him like that. Right. And so like, and that doesn't mean like, oh, okay, like then go and have sex with this person. It just means that we're communicating. And so I think that's one of the misconceptions that people have about polyamorous relationships is that you're out here just having sex with a bunch of people. You're actually really communicating more with your partner about your desires. And so we just talk about it. We talk about it like, when we're at the kitchen table. We talk about it when we're having lunch at, what's our favorite place at Lennox? True Food Kitchen. We'll see somebody walking by or one of the waiters and she'll be like, my husband thinks you're gorgeous. And so do I, or something like that. Yeah.
So Shazam, before you ask your question.
Yeah, it's a follow-up. I love a good follow-up.
Shazam, how do you navigate conversations about sex with your...
Oh, we talk about it openly. Like, we'll have a whole conversation about it. Yeah, like we talk about it. Like we literally, like we recently just had a discussion about like, because as gay males, let's be honest, like sex ain't got to be planned. You can have a little spontaneous what you want to do, but it's still just like, okay, like we can't be having all of that. You know what I mean? So it's like,
right, I want to eat a burrito today.
Ooh.
But the girls over there don't care. They like peanuts on their peanuts.
You never said that. You should know your body. We're old enough.
Got that toothpaste left on you.
I ain't never painted on nobody. Never ever painted on me. So that is not my song, not my testimony, nor my ministry. But I will say that like we have to have open conversations. Like this weekend, and this is like really pulling the curtains back. If he's watching, he's gonna be like, okay. But like, I don't know, like Saturday we were gonna have sex or something, and my stomach was hurting. I was like, okay, well, I plan on sitting on some ding-a-ling, but I ain't doing it today. And I just asked him, I was like, does that bother you? Like, would you ever like, do you feel like you would want to have sex with somebody else? He was like, no, because like I don't feel like the sex with you is what makes me connected to you. Right. It's like I like love you beyond that, and that's how I know I want to be with you because it's not about sex. He's like, the desire to have sex with somebody else isn't there. He was like, okay, like we can't do this, but we can do other things. You know what I mean? So it's like we open. We talk about
things?
it. Huh? What are these other things? Baby, we do it all over here.
I like it.
I ride dick on my feet, okay?
Now put that on OnlyFans. I might subscribe.
Oh wow. But I will say that like there's very much so there's not often that I gag. But we talk about everything. We have open conversations around sex because when you're going into a space, like you have to talk about that. If you don't talk about it, especially in gay relationships, that's where like it becomes like, oh, we're trying to add a third and no. And for me in my house, I love it that you're comfortable with poly, but like not for me in my house.
Absolutely. It's not for everybody.
How about
it
you,
shouldn't
Michael?
be.
I have a lot of conversations regarding sex, what I like, what I don't like, when we can do certain things, bring people in, step out. It just comes natural.
Ropes and chains.
And handcuffs.
I ain't mad at it.
Nice.
I want to also just really quick. I'm sorry. I just want to give a little disclaimer because I know there'll be some people watching this and be like, he's running for city council. We're all doing this. We're all fucking. We're all having sex. That's how you got here. Okay, unless you're an alien or you hatched from a damn egg. That's how you got here. Your mama liked it bareback. That's how you here. No, like let's call a thing a thing. And so like a lot of times, some people are like, are you sure it's like appropriate for people who are running for office to be having conversations like this? Absolutely, because they represent the public, and a part of what the public does is they have sex, and we're not any different from the public. We like to be pleasured too.
I'm glad you said that, because when Rodney, like before you got here, I was like, Rodney, do we ask him what questions are off limits? Because he might not want to talk about sex. He running for office, so I like it.
I'm in a space where I'm learning to have more open conversations about sex in my relationships. And so like
Relationships?
in my relationship. And so like when before, I've actually learned that I'm actually more dominant than I initially thought. And so in previous relationships, I would be more submissive. But now I'm just like, this is what I want. And this is how I want to participate sexually in this relationship. And I'm growing in that space. But I do know that we're limited on time. So, Rodney, how do you navigate conversations in?
I'm gonna be real. I'm a jealous bitch, so we can talk about a nigga look good, you know, cause we have eyes. But if you come talking about we open poly, I'm gonna be very disappointed because I feel like my shit is good, and that's just how I feel. The question was, how can we talk about sex? And I think being open, you have to be open to what, cause your body changes, your wants, desire changes. You have to learn how to change with your partner.
Hi, Darius.
Hey, Darius.
Oh wow, okay, Darius.
Oh, Darius.
Somebody did say, before we get too far, they said, is Devin really poly? He can love multiple people, or is his relationship just sexually open?
Ooh, I love that question. So part of the distinction between being poly and being in an open relationship is that polyamory allows for feelings to be involved. And so for me, I'm someone that values quality over quantity, in the sense that I desire, if I'm having sex with someone outside of my nesting partner, my wife, it's someone that, one, I don't want to like have to look around for like this person all the time. Like, like I'm always looking for these different sexual experiences. I would like for them to be someone that is consistent, someone that I trust, that my wife trusts, that they have a relationship, even if they're not sexually involved with one another. That like, I have this big thing, like if I'm out with someone else, or if my wife is out with someone else and something happened, like they got a boot on the car or a tire went flat, you should never hesitate to pick up the phone and call me. And if that other person that you're dealing with doesn't have that level of comfort, you probably shouldn't be dealing with them.
So we're going to get right to it. Do you have a boyfriend or girlfriend as well as a wife?
I currently am not dating anyone else right now. I'm already running for office. I work full time. I have 2 businesses that I'm responsible for.
But you have people that you're like texting and like getting to know?
Not really. I think part of the challenge is that a lot of people don't necessarily know how to approach me right, and I don't necessarily have the time to approach people right now.
I respect.
So that means he not looking for sex, little whores.
To save
Thank you for the question, Kev.
We're going to transition over to
The letter, and the damn thing went away.
No, it didn't. It's right there.
No, like, I'm being for real.
It did go away.
What happened?
Darius, if you're watching, we'll be sending you an email because you won tickets last week to Frolic.
You sure did,
Oh,
Darius.
that's right, Marco.
Well, openers, welcome
Darius said he had a crush
to.
on me, so you gonna take me to?
You know what, Devin?
I don't even know how that
Barrington
happened.
Ward.
Barrington Ward.
I'm
Mr.
surprised it's
Barrington
not like
Ward.
the second or the third.
Okay.
Like
Thank
something
you
like
so
that.
much. Well, openers, welcome to the letter. This is your favorite segment where we invite our fifth seaters into, conversation with us, ask us questions. We're here for you. We love you. As you know, Solomon is a therapist, but he's not on staff. If you want his expertise, you can hit him up on his IG, and he's going to charge you $800 and give me 10%. Thank you.
And this is why Rodney. Never mind.
And campaign manager, baby.
Mine coming off the top. Emphasis on the top.
Yeah, but openers, for real though, like, we here for you. We're going to give you real, honest, raw advice. So we want to thank you for your letters because we love your letters. And you can send them in 2 ways. You can go to our website at openrelationshippodcast.com, click contact us, and click the letter button. Or you can email us, openrelationshippodcast@gmail.com, and we got your letters. All right. So, dear Openrelationship Podcast, I hope this message finds you well. I am reaching out because I'm feeling a bit unsure about my relationship and could really use some advice. I'm in a relationship with a wonderful man whom I care deeply for. However, there's a complexity that has been weighing on my mind. He still lives with his ex-partner, and they are co-parenting their kids together. On one hand, I completely understand the importance of maintaining a stable environment for children, and I respect the bond they share as co-parents. On the other hand, I sometimes feel uneasy about living situation and what it means for our relationship. I worry that it might create boundaries that are hard to navigate and may lead to misunderstanding or feelings of insecurity. I want to support him and the kids, but I also need to ensure that my own feelings are acknowledged and respected. How do I approach this situation? Should I have conversation with him about my concerns? What's the best way to balance understanding his responsibilities as a parent while also nurturing our relationship? Any insights or experiences you could share would be greatly appreciated. Thank you for your help.
How long have they known?
He didn't say.
Oh.
In the words of our good sister Whoopi Goldberg, you in danger, girl.
I was just girl.
Molly, you in danger, girl.
You think so?
Hell yes.
Yeah.
How so?
Why is he in danger? One, okay. There's some details we don't know.
And by the way, this is a good letter.
It
Yeah,
is.
this is.
Is this previous partner that
good
he's still
letter.
living with? Is this a man or a woman? If this is a woman, you are in danger. Like, you're trying to compete with a woman at this point, and as gay men, we are not women. You cannot compete with her. Two, that's his baby mama. Like, there's going to be a bond there that you're not going to be able to break. So you have to understand that going into this. I always tell people, even my straight female friends, if they start to date a man with kids, I'm like, you have to understand he's going to have a relationship with a woman that you may not like and that may not like you, but that relationship's not going nowhere, and you will go before that relationship goes because you have a child. Yeah. So co-parenting, you don't have to live with your ex to co-parent. My parents separated when we were young, and they co-parented just fine, and they were never living under the same roof after I turned like 10. So I don't think that's real. But getting to the question, say, should I have a conversation with them about my concerns? Absolutely. If you're already hesitating about making these concerns known to your partner, y'all are already on the wrong foot. What's the best way to balance understanding his responsibilities as a parent while also nurturing our relationship? Tell him to move out that bitch house and live with you so you can balance your relationship together. And the kids should be there. This is crazy. Like, I don't understand why you're still living with somebody and dating somebody else. It's giving homosexual. I don't like it. Any insights or experiences you could share would be greatly. I don't have any insights or experiences with this because I would never.
Well,
Yeah, you gotta.
You need to reference it.
Yeah.
It's a foolish.
Well, I'm not dealing with nobody with kids, so I don't know how that looks on your end. Like Shazam said, you can't compete with somebody that has kids. That relationship's never.
And a pussy.
goddamn.
That relationship is not going anywhere. How do you approach it? I would just leave. Yeah. And then any insights or experiences? No, because I don't date people with kids. So.
I
Now you have a damn dog trying to date me.
Okay.
I've-
It's already bad.
I haven't had this.
Giving the dog more attention than me.
I haven't had this experience. Have I dated someone with kids? Yes. But never anyone that lived with their ex. Should you have the conversation? Yes. I think having the conversation is important. Just because I think it is healthy to express your concerns. However, you knew what it was when you got into this situation.
I knew you were going to say
And if you knew what it was, why didn't you make a decision at the beginning? Or what prevented you from making a decision at the beginning to the point where you and this other person caught feelings and now, and like, you're also saying like, I want to support him and the kids. And so there's a level of investment in this.
Right.
I'm sorry?
I'm questioning, like, what is it that he wants? Why are you... Yeah.
What are you laughing at?
Marco started shaking his head as soon as you said kid.
So
double homicide.
He was like,
I don't know if this is a right or wrong issue. I just don't. I don't know if it's an issue. And I say that in the sense that, you know, sometimes people create their own problems. And
I get what you're saying.
yeah, I don't think that this is an issue that I think they're making more of it than it actually is.
I'm gonna say this because I'm with Solomon on this. You knew what it was. He didn't hide anything from you, so you signed up for this. If it was too much for you, you should have never even signed up for it. If he was being truthful, honest, and upfront about it. I'm with Shazam. Bitch, you ain't got a little house with your baby mama, your wife, ex-wife. I'm sorry. To co-parent. What kind of shit is that?
I think that can be a healthy situation, and if you meet someone,
What can be healthy?
I think people who are separated, divorced, can cohabitate.
Girl, let me.
And date other people while they live in.
Now, see, so this is talking about two different issues right now. So I think individuals who have children and have exes can cohabitate. Now, when you go and join another relationship, if you're forming another relationship, there should be I think there should be an expectation of splitting apart from that. However, when this writer is talking about should I have a conversation, I think a part of that conversation is, do you want to live with me?
Yeah.
Because otherwise, if you're saying, hey, you need to go live somewhere else, now you're creating a bill for somebody else? No.
Baby,
No.
she's in danger, girl, because now you're finna have to take care of a man. I am so sorry for you.
Run.
I can't imagine the pain this
But we
woman
don't
is
know
in.
what that person's financial status or situation is.
Before you go really quick, Devin, let me just say, we are pressed for time.
Just a guess.
Oh, you're fine. I agree. I'm with Solomon. I'm with Shazam. Girl, you either gonna say you're gonna go, and that's just what it is. I'm not gonna be waiting for no nigga to leave his house. Somebody come home to me.
When you coming over? Why? Oh, wow.
I got the kids.
I got the
Then you
kids.
hear in the background, you come to bed, bitch.
You hear Charles, your dinner is ready. Go, please.
Devin, what you think about this letter?
My
Oh my God,
question
Charles.
would be, they said something in there about, did they say boundaries or barriers or something?
Yeah.
Like that?
Yeah.
And my question to them would be like, what's your boundaries?
Ain't got none.
What's your boundaries around this? Like, clearly, but like, I think getting some boundaries is important because a lot of times I think he's too focused on this other person's boundaries. And I'm like, what are yours? Right? Like, boundaries are important for like adult relationships. And I think a lot of times people enter into relationships not having good boundaries with themselves and then expect for people to look after your boundaries that are non-existent. Like, no, you are responsible for your own boundaries and like what you're going to be cool with and what you're not going to be cool with. The other thing that I would say is I agree. I think co-parenting is one thing, cohabitating is another. And the thing that is interesting to me is like, he said something along the lines of, I want to be supportive of the kids. Well, also, what relationship are you expecting to have? Have you even communicated with these kids' mother? Are you sure that she wants her children to have a relationship with you? And is that going to be acceptable? Because I would say, if that's my friend, I would be like, that's not a relationship you need to be in. Because if you can't even, if this woman, going back to the point that I made earlier, right, around even polyamory lessons, if you can't communicate with not just him, but like you can't even communicate with this woman, this is not, we were already starting on a bad foot, right? You're talking about, should I have a conversation with him? You need to be having a conversation with them, right? And if you can't have a conversation with them, this is probably not a relationship you need to be in, because that level of communication does require a high level of emotional intelligence and a high level of maturity. And, if you ain't worked through some traumas, triggers, old issues, this, that, and the third, you don't got a good therapist, I don't know if you have the support that you need to engage in a relationship like this, because we're talking about like children are involved, another person is involved. Children that are not yours. Can you discipline these kids when they come over to your house and they break something?
Well, it don't matter because
You know
you're not
what
going
I'm
to get to see him because he's not coming home.
Okay.
Well, goddamn, well, y'all done whacked him. Well,
Enjoyed you.
well, Devin,
Reverend
hold on, let him.
Doctor.
I want him to Please let pass. We gonna hold these up, because I'm endorsing.
Child, the
you.
Reverend Doctor, Councilman,
The Reverend Dr. Councilman,
Barrington
Reverend Doctor.
Ward the 17th.
It was 17, right? Because it's gonna be 17 of them motherfuckers. Okay. No, seriously, y'all. Thank y'all for the platform tonight. I think it's important that we humanize our elected officials. We've seen Donald Trump on all these different podcasts and this, that, and the third. And I think that's not just for presidential candidates. That's for people who's running for local office too. Because you need to know that they're a real person, right? Y'all done got in my business a little bit. Check out my website, devin4atlanta.us. Check me out on Instagram, devin4atlanta, F-O-R, Atlanta. The election is on November 5th. Early voting starts October 15th. And, just to run down, we're talking about affordable housing, expanding public transit. We got to fund these after-school programs because clearly that lady and her kids need someplace to go. Green infrastructure, Black Lives Matter, because that just needs to be codified into law. We need to fund community safety that isn't just relying on prisons and jails, but is relying on care and mental health services and substance abuse, LGBT equality, because democracy and transparency, that's always good. And we need to tax big corporations because they're the ones that got the money. We ain't got it. They got it. Profits have gone up for these major corporations tenfold at the same time while we're struggling to pay for groceries and rent. So we need people who understand the realities of working class people, but also have a plan. And when you go to my website, you will see a plan. Not a concept of a plan, but a plan. Yes. So I'm excited to be running for office. This is a historic election to be on the ballot for the first Black woman to be president at the same time in a battleground state like Georgia is a major honor. So I already feel like I've won. So thank y'all.
Remember, doors of the church are open. Solomon, take us out.
Yes. Also, I need some money. Donate. 20, 15, $10, $200, whatever you got. We're not taking no corporate money, so we need.
Well, donate here first to go to hell.
Yeah. Match.
Donate at home first.
I'm gonna get y'all ass whacked.
Well, if you donate a lot of money to them, I'm sure y'all will, sprinkle the wealth,
Take
right?
us out, girl. He's trying to get a piece of extra money.
Like Shazam said, the doors of the church are open. We are glad that you came and celebrated with us today. I hope you got the word that you needed.
Yes.
Thank you for coming and joining the four of us and our guest as we swallow hard topics and spit difference of opinions.
Yes.
See you next week.
Bye, y'all. See you at the polls.
Hey, that.
Right.